Welcome to Milton Creek Country Park, here on the edge of Sittingbourne, Kent. Whatever's brought you here today, a walk with the family, a spot of fishing, somewhere to let the kids run around, or simply a bit of fresh air, you're standing at the start of somewhere with a lot more going on beneath the surface than most people realize. Let's start with what you can see right now. Around you, gabions, those large wire baskets filled with stone, mark the entrance and give this gateway a solid, natural character. Keep an eye out too for the small wooden mushrooms dotted near the gate, a playful little touch that tells you straight away this place was designed with families and children in mind, not just wildlife watchers and dog walkers. But here's the thing about Milton Creek Country Park that catches a lot of people out. It hasn't always looked like this. Not even close. This park opened in 2011, but before that, this land was known as Church Marshes. And for decades, it was used as a landfill site, taking in the rubbish and industrial waste of a growing town. It took years of careful, unglamorous work to cap the contamination, manage the gases still rising from the ground, and slowly turn this into the green, welcoming space you're walking through now. That story, industry, waste, and quiet transformation repeats itself again and again across this park, and it's really at the heart of everything you'll discover here if you look a little closer. As you head further in, you'll find a network of paths weaving through wildflower meadows and past ponds created specifically for Great Crested Newts, rare protected amphibians that call this reclaimed ground home. The meadows themselves buzz with bees and insects through the warmer months, a proper patch of countryside that genuinely didn't exist here 15 years ago. For families, there's a play area to keep the kids entertained, benches scattered along the paths if you fancy just sitting and taking it all in, and wide, accessible tracks that make this an easy, relaxed walk, whatever your pace. Whether you're here for 20 minutes or a full afternoon, there's genuinely room to just enjoy the space for what it is, a proper green lung in a predominantly urban part of Kent. And then there's the water. Milton Creek itself winds through this park, a tidal inlet that eventually opens out into the Swale, the channel separating the Kent mainland from the Isle of Sheppey. If you follow the paths far enough, you'll reach quiet viewpoints, looking out over the marshes and mudflats at a completely different atmosphere from the more sheltered, wooded parts of the park nearer the entrance. Now here's where it gets interesting, because as ordinary and pleasant as this park feels today, almost everywhere you walk, here is sitting on top of genuine, often surprising history. And most of it is completely invisible unless someone points it out to you. Just up the path from here stands Holy Trinity Church, a building with roots stretching back to the year 597, and some evidence suggesting a Roman villa may once have stood on this very site, long before the church itself was built. Follow the path the other way, and you'll cross the route of the old Sittingbourne and Kemsley Light Railway, a narrow gauge line that once kept the local paper mills running. Walk further round toward the creek, and you'll find the remains of old sailing barges. Flat-bottomed spritsail barges, dozens of them built right here on these banks, carrying bricks and paper out to London for the best part of 2 centuries before the whole industry simply vanished within a generation. And that fishing lake you might spot from certain paths, that wasn't always a lake at all. It started life as a clay and brick earth pit, dug out to feed the local brickworks, then became part of the same landfill story as the rest of this park before finally being transformed into one of Sittingbourne's most popular fishing spots, home now to carp over 30 pounds, and plenty of quieter, more surprising stories beneath the surface. That's really what this whole park is about if you take the time to notice it. Nothing here is quite what it first appears. A quiet play area sits on a former landfill. A peaceful fishing lake was once an industrial pit. A creek that looks like nothing more than pretty scenery once carried an entire town's trade out to London and back. If any of that's caught your interest, you're in luck, because dotted around this park, you'll find small plaques with QR codes at several key spots, each one part of the Milton Creek Heritage Trail. Scan any of them with your phone and you'll be able to listen to the fuller story behind that exact spot. The church, the railway, the barges, the fishing lake, and more, right there where it actually happened. You don't need to follow any particular order, and there's no rush. Wander wherever the park takes you today. Let the kids loose in the play area, follow the path down to the water, sit for a while on one of the benches and just take it in. And whenever something catches your eye, an old wall, a strange shape in the water, a building that looks older than it should, there's a good chance there's a proper story behind it. The park changes character with the seasons too. And it's worth knowing that whatever time of year you're visiting, there's something different waiting for you. Come in spring or early summer and the meadows are genuinely alive. Skylarks overhead, dragonflies over the ponds, wildflowers pushing up through ground that not so many years ago was capped landfill and bare earth. Come in autumn and the whole park turns gold and amber, the paths carpeted in leaves, the creek mist rising in the early morning. Even in winter, when everything's quieter and stiller, there's a particular kind of peace to walking here. Just you, the marshes, and the wind coming in off the Swale. It's also worth knowing this is a genuinely accessible park. The main paths are wide, level, and suitable for pushchairs and wheelchairs alike, though a few of the routes nearer the creek and marshland get a bit more uneven underfoot, so it's worth choosing your path depending on who you've got with you. Dogs are welcome throughout the park, though do keep them on a lead near the fishing lake. There are clear signs there, and it's as much for the safety of the wildlife as anything else. One last thing before you head off and start exploring properly. This whole park sits within easy reach of Sittingbourne town centre. You'll spot the Astor and the retail park from some of the higher paths, a reminder of just how close this quiet green space is to the middle of a busy town. That's really part of what makes Milton Creek special. You don't need to drive out into the countryside for an afternoon like this. It's right here, tucked in behind the everyday streets most people drive past without a second thought. And if you do want to make a proper day of it, there's more than enough here to fill one. Walk the full loop down to the creek and back, let the kids tire themselves out at the play area, watch the anglers along the fishing lake, and take your time finding each of the heritage plaques scattered along the way. Bring a flask of tea, sit on one of the benches overlooking the water, and just watch the tide come in.